Woo! What's up? We live.
happening?
He wasn't fast enough.
Uh,
Hey,
Man,
live shows.
I just saw something on Instagram that jacked my mood up. Y'all ever see somebody who owe you money just outside? You need to be inside to like, please.
Oh man,
Jack my mood up.
they just
see somebody
outside
that
with it up.
owe me money and then come back and ask me for more money.
No,
That happened.
Dang,
That
that's way out of pocket.
happens. So, yeah.
What's good, Hawks?
What's happening?
Man, what's up? What we doing today, man? What we talking about?
I feel like today's show is going to be more of a conversation. Not that all of our shows aren't conversations, but this is going to be a conversed conversation, if you know what I mean. The Oscars happened. Some things happened at the Oscars. Maybe we might want to give our little bit of thought.
Shout out to Samuel winning that Oscar.
Yo, shout out to Samuel L. Jackson for winning his honorary Oscar off camera.
Yeah.
They should have televised that jump.
His first Oscar.
They had time.
They should have.
There was a segment where they could have just interjected that in there real quick, you know what I'm saying? Then woo, on to the next one.
I think they were going to televise it, and then the slap happened. And just created
I
a
don't
whole
know. I think
entanglement.
they were just gonna let that slide. Like, I don't think they were gonna televise it.
I didn't think the slap took up that much.
They did record it though. Well, somebody recorded. I saw footage of it. I
It was
saw footage of it on
pre-recorded.
it.
Yeah, they did that before the ceremony.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Yo,
We got to dedicate Pursuit A. I'm going to make some Slappy Joes tomorrow.
Yo, can I just say Mike Porter has been going in with the slap
Hey,
bad
did
joke.
you see? Wait, I saw the one on the night of. Yo, that joke got me. Like,
Mike Porter,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
if you are
Oh
hearing
man.
we have been enjoying the slap dad jokes. He hasn't stopped yet. Every dad joke been about slaps all week.
I forgot what that was. That the one he did that night, yo. That jump was
I'm a look for
perfect.
while we're talking.
Top tier, man. Top tier.
Outside of the slaps, who were you happy to see win? Who were you sad to see lose?
I'm glad Will Smith finally got his first Oscar.
That's what I was gonna say. That I was definitely.
Honestly,
I was watching to see him win his first Oscar. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Did that jump happen? I was like, yo. It took me a minute to process that. I ain't gonna like that jump was crazy. Like the whole situation.
because he just resigned from the Academy, so he won't.
Yeah,
get
but
any
that's
more
breaking
Oscars.
news.
He
But just
resigned.
he got his
Yeah,
Oscar about.
that just happened. That just happened like an hour ago.
I didn't know you could resign from the Oscars.
I'm kind of sad that he resigned because I feel like they couldn't if they kicked him out, like all these people who have done terrible things and
Right.
you've allowed them to stay.
Right.
And
Right.
so I'm not saying that I respect his decision for himself, but I just feel like there's no way they could have done that and just there'd been no backlash.
They already were lying. You heard they were lying. They were saying that they asked for him to leave, and they turned out that wasn't true. They asked him to leave. They said, "Oh, we asked him to leave. You refused." Y'all just lying on this man.
I was about to say I didn't hear anything about that. I heard that
The Academy put out a
I
statement.
heard Samuel L. Jackson and Denzel talk to him like one on one,
The Academy put
but
out a statement saying
That was
we asked
Denzel
him
and
to
Tyler
leave.
Perry that were
or
Turns
Tyler
out-
Perry, yeah.
immediately after. Yeah.
Turns out he didn't ask him to leave.
This was Mike Porter's tweet the morning after.
Yes.
I don't remember. Like no, I forgot what that first one that he put out there. That was great. That tweet,
What, the Oscars were last night? Well, slap me silly. That one?
yeah, something like that.
I was happy to see Questlove win Best Documentary for a documentary that I did not know existed, and
Same.
I'm gonna make it a point to watch that this weekend. I think it's streaming somewhere. I'm wrong of me to not know the name, but I didn't even know about it.
So I'd seen something about it, but I did not know he was involved in it. So like,
What's it about?
it's a music festival that happened in like Harlem or Philadelphia somewhere, and like it was basically like it was like almost like a Black Woodstock almost is what the the average, like, I might be that's what it seemed like. I don't know if that's what it said in the advertisement, but basically that's how it was. The hype was around it. Like it was a bunch of like popular artists coming to either, I think it was Harlem, maybe, I can't remember. I need to look up like what it was totally about, but it seemed like it was kind of like this Woodstock type of event festival for black artists
It
around
was
the time. And I think
1959 Harlem Cultural Festival.
yeah, see, yeah. See, I saw, like I said, I saw the ad for it. I saw something. I was watching something and it popped up, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of interesting." Didn't know who was involved with it. I would have checked it out before the Oscars had I been like more aware of when and where it was showing. I probably would have checked that out.
Big Brother is trying to use.
Like that. Most of those movies I didn't know anything about.
Yeah,
I'm glad
same.
Doom won a lot because Doom won a lot for like.
That's what, yo. So
cinematography.
For me, King Richard and Dune were the best things I saw last year. Like just.
I mean, those are the
off
movies
rip.
I've actually heard of. A lot of these, I was
So
like,
Dune had to have won one for cinematography, right?
Dune won
Yeah.
like in
he's the same
every
cinematographer
category
for
almost.
The Batman too. He's probably gonna win next year.
Yeah, the Batman's gonna win a lot of stuff next year. Or this
Who
year.
won Best Actress?
Jessica Chastain
Oh,
Yeah.
word.
for the Life and Times of Tammy Faye, I think is the name of the movie.
Never heard of it. Good for her.
I like seeing Ariana DeBose. Is that how you say her last name?
The boy.
The
Who's
boy.
I never know how to say
She
her
was
last
the one
name.
that did the West Side Story
Yeah.
I didn't see West Side Story.
from North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
You know.
I can respect that.
Was she the young lady who they did not invite?
No.
No, that was
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
Nah, that was from
the person they didn't invite was the lead of West Side Story.
Yes.
She was the support. She won supporting actress.
Oh, okay.
The woman we're talking about won supporting actress. She's from
Oh
North
yeah,
Carolina.
I didn't know she was from North Carolina. I just assumed it's bad, but I just be assuming Puerto Ricans are from New York.
She's a dancer, right? She's like, that's her main thing is dancing,
singer,
right?
actress.
Dang, I had no
That's
idea.
what's
she was from North Carolina.
Shout out to her.
What else happened?
Who won supporting actor?
Didn't Tom Hanks win? Because he won something, or did he announce something?
He announced.
No,
something.
he announced something. Okay, yeah.
Who won
Look,
supporting
that was like post slap. Everything was confusing for me
Will
after
Smith
that.
won
But
Best
I ain't gonna lie. I was just like,
Times.
I'm like, bro, somebody explain to me what just happened, because I was still trying to figure out what all was happening. Like, ain't that immediate ass?
From Coda won.
Yeah. The dude, I forgot about that.
I need to
That
watch
was great too. I'm glad they didn't. Yeah, I'm glad. No, I didn't watch it, but I'm glad they did not shorten his speech, because like
Yes.
it was a great moment, and he needed to express his thoughts and feelings, because I mean he had a sign, so like they let him express himself like fully, and it was great. It was wonderful. Like because it's like he's only the second person to win an Academy Award that's
He's
deaf. So like you don't see that ever happen. So I'm glad they gave him his time and didn't rush him off stage. And he wasn't long. Like he expressed himself. He was very appreciative. He was thankful for like basically like the chance to put a spotlight on people who are deaf, and just the whole coda like dichotomy, and then he thanked his father, and all his, it was great. Like I really liked that. I liked his speech. That was one of the best speeches that I heard that night.
Who is this guy?
I can put his name up.
Kotzer. Sorry.
Yeah, he also created the sign language for the Tusken Raiders in The Mandalorian, and I didn't know. So that was also
That's cool as heck.
yeah.
I pulled up a list just because I probably should have had it up when we started. But Encanto won Best Animated Film, which I was kind of happy about. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We didn't get to talk about that on Discord, but
Who was in the nominees for animated?
Animated films were Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
I just assume, huh?
Yeah.
I thought that movie was old.
No,
I
that came out early, like last year.
Oh,
It probably came out just after
Also-
the cutoff for
Yeah.
2021.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's an old movie.
Yeah, because it came out. I think November or December are the cutoff. So anything that comes out in November or December goes into the following year. So like it came out right after the cutoff. But I felt like it was between Raya and Encanto. Like I didn't because I didn't
Like
know anything
November
about those other.
2020.
Yeah, I didn't know about any of those other ones.
Is on Netflix.
Encanto, it was all right. I didn't think it was as good as
Really? Everybody like raves about Encanto.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I didn't watch either of them, but like from what everyone was talking about Encanto, and everybody was talking about Raya and the Last Dragon. Those are two that I heard the most people talk about. So I figured it was a race between those two films.
If you got a big family, you need to watch Encanto. Because when I tell you, I was real mad at Abuela. Like, she did it to me. But if y'all know what I'm talking about, you got to watch the movie. That was so.
well,
I
it didn't make
can't
no
just
sense.
enjoy. You just got to watch it. I feel like
That's the reason I didn't like the movie. It's like, what is this?
I'm screaming. What's the movie we watched where I was like critiquing it like they were real people?
The movie where the dude died and went
Yes.
to the.
Oh yeah, Soul.
I still feel that way about Soul. I'm sorry. I didn't like it. I didn't like how they treated my boy. But yeah, I'm not just going to enjoy it for a kid's movie. I'm going to watch it like it was made for me. And I felt like Abuela attacked me.
Did Soul win an Oscar?
It won.
Maybe
I feel like it should have won an animated film Oscar.
Did it?
Song, I don't know.
Would that
That
be
was like last year though.
It won. Yeah, it won something. I think it was either the score or it won something in the animated
Like
category.
original song or something like that.
Yeah.
Who made
Yeah.
the song?
Or original score or something. I don't know.
James Bond won it.
Oh, Soul. Soul was the best animated feature.
I thought it did. I thought it won. Like, it wasn't anything else in that category really that came out that year that could compete with that.
I would have been upset James Bond ain't win one when they did the special for James Bond 60 years.
Yo, shout out to Billie Eilish too. That performance, that was great. That was a great performance that night too, musically.
Yeah.
Like she can sing, yo.
Can we just say that the performance for They Don't Talk About Bruno was a major fail? Because how is that the number one song in America? It's Disney's second number one since A Whole New World from Aladdin, and they didn't even play the actual song. Meg Thee Stallion had nothing to do with that movie.
Oh
It
man.
came on. I didn't see the. I didn't see that. We saw
You
the
see
beginning
it?
of the
Yo, people kept showing up. Just like
Who are these people? They started with the actual cast, and then all of a sudden the camera spins around. It's Meg Thee Stallion. She rapping about being at the Oscars. Now, I love my good sis, but I thought we weren't talking about Bruno. What? You don't know nothing about this. So I thought that was mostly a fail. Like maybe they were doing it to spice up the night.
Wasn't there some Meg Thee Stallion news that came up recent with that situation with Tory Lanez? Came out she was lying about it or something.
Tory is saying that she's lying about it. There has been no official court document saying that she's lying.
Like they still got to go to court.
Interesting.
Bro.
Yeah,
he going to jail, bro. That's all I.
I'm hearing other news like there was no gunpowder found on his hands, but there was gunpowder found on her girlfriend's hands, and so it seems like the girlfriend is home girl might have been the one that pulled the trigger. If a trigger was ever pulled, they didn't find any evidence of gunshot wounds on her feet. It was just some weird stuff I was seeing.
Where you get that? The Onion?
I don't know where you got the information.
Yeah, I don't know where you got that from either, because I hadn't heard.
I gotta check resources.
Yeah, check that. Let's see what's up. But it might be, turn out to be something different.
Can I just say, I really don't like how that all has played out. It's very clear. Meg Thee Stallion got shot. We saw her laying down on the ground, legs bleeding. We saw the wound. The doctor said they took out fragments. Why are people still questioning whether or not she got shot? I definitely feel that maybe there could be a question somewhere of who shot her, but I don't like the discourse online of people saying like that don't look like a bullet wound.
Right.
You get shot on the regular, bro. Dang, let's show us your
You
bullet
couldn't walk
wound.
and dance for a minute.
Yeah, they were saying something about no bones were broken in the foot,
That's okay.
and there's no way to get shot in the
Especially
foot
your foot,
and your
though.
bones not break.
That's
People get shot.
This is the thing. This is the thing, though. There's a
it also depends on the caliber of bullet too. Like
the attorney
it's
general's
possible
the one
though.
that is charging this dude. Like, she didn't want to bring charges or anything. I was the attorney general, so that means he has enough. He thinks there's enough evidence to convict because those people are elected officials, so they're not going to try to get a case that they don't think they can win. So they do usually do slam dunk layups. So they think this is a layup. So that's all I gotta say about it.
What I can say is that Meg Thee Stallion initially did not want to have him charged. She didn't want him arrested. She didn't want to do anything. He's a black man. She's a black woman. She didn't want to be the reason that another black man went to jail. Although I feel her because she has switched up because of things that he did. He got out talking about I ain't shoot nobody, and then he was dissing her in the news. And she was like, hold up. And now she's suffering because she could have handled it a certain way from the jump. I think that should be a lesson to people. Just because you have love for someone or respect someone doesn't mean that, we should allow them to.
It's not going to be reciprocated.
Because in a way, it's kind of backfiring on her now, which is why there's so much discourse for people, opportunity for people to attack her. So yeah, let's not do that no more. Sorry.
I'm just surprised he hasn't been deported yet. He's Canadian.
I thought he was.
He got deported? He in Canada?
Yeah, I thought he was.
So he should have been.
He's there though.
Like I thought initially they deported him until the trial started or something. I can't remember. He went back to Canada for a minute.
I think legally you have to be convicted of a crime, and he hasn't been convicted of anything yet.
I thought, yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was. Anyways.
But sorry, we were talking about the Oscars.
Back on topic.
Any other Oscar thoughts?
I mean, it was pretty uneventful until it wasn't.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that slap got blown out of proportion, man. Honestly,
I do too.
Because when I heard about the slap, because I got sent the slap and I saw it, I was like, okay, that's crazy. It just kept moving, and then next thing I know, it's blown up. I'm like, dang. Wow.
That was live at the
I watched
Oscars.
that bad boy live.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it happen live. That joint was crazy.
That was assault.
Like that.
That was assault live at the Oscars.
It wasn't that crazy to me.
My thing is with it
all the time, backstage and everything. And it just happened to be on stage.
My thing about it is that Chris Rock, like, all the jokes that he had were about the other nominees, and like, he just came out of nowhere with the Jada comment. And I was like, I remember like when I heard him say the joke, I was just like, that was just weird. Like, why?
How's she relevant?
Yeah, like
today,
I just felt like it was unnecessary. Didn't I mean?
You heard that? You heard that, Mark?
No, Mark. But I agree. There has been a lot of stuff to come out about things that he has said about Jada in the past, and Chris Rock has spoken a lot about her. Now, I will say, regardless, I'm not happy that the slap happened because it has absolutely taken away from what that night was. And in my opinion, it doesn't really show who Will Smith is. We've never seen anything like him. We've never seen anything like that from him previously. So I don't think that slap is a true reflection of who he is. Also, I just feel like now after the fact, there's probably a better way that it could have been handled. It was absolutely a better way. So I wish the slap didn't happen. But I am starting to see or feel Will a little bit because Chris Rock has attacked Jada Pinkett Smith for years, and he gives I tried to hit and she said no vibes. Nobody.
What I read today,
man, that couldn't hit. I'm so sorry. That's the vibes that it gives me as a woman. Like this dude, that's where I'm getting from that. There's some sort of issue there, but again, the slap has turned into something completely just
it got ridiculous.
To me, it's black business that was handled on a white stage. So now you got people
It
who
could have been off camera.
right. There's people involved in it giving opinions on it that, in my opinion, shouldn't have. And then also,
there's a lot of that. People have nothing to do with comedy.
Ridiculous. They talking about Betty White. Betty White dead.
Betty White ain't got nothing to do with this.
They said, "What if it was Betty White?" I'm like, Betty White.
That's the funny thing. Yeah, what if it was
a baby? Huh? What if it was a baby?
Feeling, yeah.
What if it was a toddler and he slapped the toddler? Like, what are we talking about?
Like that has nothing to do with the point. So it's kind of
Yeah, like it's not it's the example, the counter arguments just don't actually, they're not real counter arguments. They're stupid. Like the thing is, it's like Will and the Smith family, ever since that Red Table episode aired, you have no idea how much crazy stuff that they've heard nonstop since then. And then for like you gotta have some tact and some awareness about that type of stuff as a comedian. If you're gonna make a joke, like understand, like what was that, like 4 or 5 years ago? Because I mean that entanglement thing has been a part of pop culture for ever since then, and like you have no idea how much stuff that they got to deal with on a regular basis. To me, it just felt like it was a combination of all that spilling over, and it just so happened to be at the Oscars, like off of a poorly timed joke.
I think Chris Rock knew he was wrong. That's why he didn't do
That's why he said it after.
He knows he was wrong. Yeah, like he knows.
I won't mention her ever.
First of all, she's got alopecia. He should have known that. Like, she's not like she's kept that secret. Like, she's been very public about that and why she's going bald. Like, it's been a couple years now since she's made that decision. So like,
said that I read something that he was actually doing stand up in Europe somewhere. I forget where in Europe. And he had this bit. Everybody in the crowd thought it was a bit that he was like crying over, like he was crying over Jada Pinkett's bit. He was like literally crying over, and everybody thought it was a bit. And then they realized, oh no, he's serious. So like this dude had like a crush on her or something, or like he got something going on there.
That was a video.
We ain't never getting Madagascar.
He was doing stand up, and he was doing stand up, like, and he was on stage crying, and everybody thought it was a bit, like it was a joke, and then they realized it wasn't a joke.
This is a video on the internet?
Nah, not a video.
You don't
worry about it. Because people don't record stand-ups like that.
This is why I hate that it happened at the Oscars, because that exchange was far, in my opinion, is just far deeper than what that moment displays. Will Smith has watched his wife be just vilified in the media for a long time. Chris Rock is a black man who created a black documentary about black women and our struggles with hair. And then these men individually, you have Chris Rock, who as a child was bullied horribly. One day he was bullied so bad, he put a brick in his book bag, and the next day came to school and beat the hell out of a boy and almost killed him. And from that moment on, he's vowed he would never portray an act of violence out of fear that he could do something like that to that effect again. Then you have Will Smith, who was raised in a toxic environment and watched his mother be assaulted on multiple occasions, and for himself feels just low about himself because he didn't do anything to protect her.
He feels protected. Yeah, he's protected.
In that moment, coming forth and having us point. I don't like that it happened on that stage, because that's the type of conversation that should be had. And we're not having that type of conversation. Instead, it's all about how Will Smith is going in the world.
In the world,
right.
Exactly.
And
I don't know why people it's just a slap. That's not the most violent thing y'all seen on TV. I'm sorry, bro. And what got me was the Academy sitting here talking about we never promote violence and everything. I'm like, you did a damn tribute to James Bond.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? You don't promote violence.
The car spinning around shooting people.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
What is this?
It wasn't
what are we talking about at this moment?
It's all part of the plan.
I'm like, come on, man. Like that's what got me. It's like people were really freaking out about a slap. I'm like, and they were like, oh my gosh, I'm traumatized. I'm like, you traumatized, bro? Have you never watched Law and Order? That's more graphic than this. A slap.
Yo, the first episode of Atlanta season 3 was the most traumatizing thing I've seen in a minute. I
haven't finished it, but the opening was heavy.
It's
There you go.
getting worse. I watched. Yeah.
Gets worse. Oh, man.
Just watch. Actually, I binged season 2 because I had forgotten a lot of it. And just today, I watched the episode where the boy thought he had a fake Poo Boo shirt and everybody bullied him and he killed himself. That was too much for me.
That was real.
That was the most accurate middle school portrayal.
That was accurate middle school.
I was like, dang, I didn't know the episode was gonna end like that.
Kids are ruthless.
Middle school too.
Yo.
They are ruthless.
Yeah, Atlanta was good. I haven't seen the newest episode 3, but the first 2 were good.
I need to finish the second and third episode, but yeah, there's a lot worse things on TV.
Yeah, Will's book. I've been reading his book. I'm on like chapter 5, but already I can get a sense of like what he must have been feeling in that moment. He talks in the book how his whole life he's been trying to run away from the thought that he's a coward. He does all these things to compensate for it. His book called Will.
Oh, listen.
Y'all should check that out. Yeah,
I'll read
it. It's pretty insightful.
See, like, we should be talking about that stuff. That makes me really sad that this is that this is now like, okay, you thought you were a coward and now you've done this, and this is the reaction, the fallout from it. Like what am I trying to say? I saw online a lot of people disappointed that him and Jada were going to do a Red Table Talk coming up, but honestly, I want to know what he's thinking. I want to know what's going through his mind. At the same time,
I heard that. Yeah, I don't know if that's appropriate though. I feel like if they have it, Chris Rock should be present.
Let's move on, bro.
Like to have it is like almost explaining the way the mistake that was made.
I don't think we should force anyone who, because if I were Chris Rock, I don't know if I would necessarily want to be in the same room with Will Smith right now. So I can't say for sure that maybe I want that. I would like to know what Chris Rock feels about it. Maybe an interview at some point with somebody. So
stand up. He gonna have a mean joke about this. It's gonna be hilarious. He's got to put it in his stand up routine. He's got to.
He just went on tour. He actually made a statement that, before this slap happened, he had stuff written. And so he would prefer to do that. But I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the tour, he says something about it.
Man got slapped on national TV, bro. He ain't got no joke for that.
Nah, he get twisted.
He embarrassed, bro. The first statement they said when he did the stand-up, he said, I'm still processing it. Like, come on.
I'm weak.
He just didn't want to say anything.
What you processing?
Yeah, process it. Fine. I feel like we should just, I don't know. I feel like we should move on from it because I'm just tired.
I agree. Let's move on right now. Hold on while I find the next topic. Oh. Wait, don't move on your shit. I told y'all we had a rough week. Okay, just for those watching, we had a very, it was a week. It was a week.
It was longer than a week.
Okay, Moon Knight episode 1. Thoughts? I
loved it
from JBM.
Everybody loved it except JBM, right?
Yeah.
JBM had problems.
Everybody loved it.
It felt like
except him.
I
So
know,
tell us why it sucked.
Oh man.
I wouldn't say it sucked. It just didn't hold me. I didn't like watching it.
It was one episode.
It was like listening to a song that wasn't my vibe.
You gave more in the Discord. You got to give us a little bit more. What? Tell us what didn't hold you about it.
Where do I start? All right, number one.
Hold on. Before you do that, before
the Eurocentric Jesus with the Jesus Retro 11s.
We got to rate
Ethan Hawke's character. That was crazy.
Before we get into that, like everybody in the comments on a scale of 1 to 10 scoops of gumbo, let us know how you felt about episode 1 of Moon Knight.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5 only because I'll give it.
Wait, no, hold on. We gonna let JPM do his thing. We gonna let the comment section speak while he's speaking, and then we gonna get to our rating.
All right, JPM, you got it. Sorry.
Go ahead, JBU.
All right, so the main character, or should I say the main personality, he was just all over the place.
You talking about Steven?
Steven, yeah, didn't like that. Didn't like how he was. I don't even know how to describe. He wasn't interesting to me. Yeah, the show is just not good in my opinion. I don't know what to say about it.
What?
Yeah, it was easy bake oven material.
What?
Yeah, bologna sandwich. It was like band practice with all the wrong tunes.
Uh,
You know
no, I don't know.
what was
All
exciting? There
right,
was nothing exciting. What exciting thing happened in that
Mark
episode?
and Ebony, go ahead.
What was exciting?
So, as a person with a dissociative identity disorder, I would expect him to be all over the place. I would be pleasantly surprised if he wasn't.
But how did that episode tell you that?
Were you watching the show, bro? What are you talking about?
Nothing about that show told me, oh, he has multiple personality disorder. It was like he's obviously got something where he can't remember, but
Can
it's
I
not
go?
like multiple personalities.
Yes.
Can I say
Yes, I've never heard of Moon Knight. I was like, I've never heard of Moon Knight. I don't know who this man is or what this is even about. But I was so surprised. I was like, oh, I like this. Okay, I can get with this. I will keep watching this. Whoever this Moon Knight is, okay. I don't have any background. We could start there. But to me, this was great. I would expect him to be all over the place. I truly had to rewind the episode because I was like, how did this man get here? Where is he? And then you realize he's going back and forth in his mind with his disorder, and you're going on that journey with him. So yeah, we don't have all the answers, but
like, how did he get to that little village?
We don't. That's the mystery.
Like random dudes started shooting at him from the castle, and he was just dodging all those bullets. It's like, what is this? What is going on?
I can't, bro. I'm sorry.
He was in the village, surrounded by all the people, and he escaped random.
What were you doing when you were watching? What were you doing when you were watching this?
On the other side.
Something.
No, what were you doing? Something. You were doing something else. You were looking at your phone. What was happening?
I was doing two things at once.
See?
No, because you messed up. I had to rewind it.
I can't go back and watch that episode.
It was
it's not worth it.
Give it one more chance.
Bro, you gotta go back and watch it. This is not that. This is not that confusing.
You go, Coop.
Imani, go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, I've got. You go ahead.
I can go.
Mark, then I'll go.
I would give it an 8 out of 10 because I was very interested in it, but the ending was. It brought me in like, okay, this is gonna be a superhero show, which is what I should have expected. But when I was actually watching it from like beginning up to the very last scene, I was like, man, this is a good show. Like, it's not even, I'm not even thinking about superhero, supernatural type of things. I'm just like, this guy's going through something. He has a split personality disorder where he has this person and Mark and some other person who we don't know yet. Well, Steven, we know Steven, and then we have Mark, but then there's somebody else. And I think that's the great guy. I don't know if the great guy is Mark, right? The great guy, the actually Moon Knight is not Mark, right?
Moon Knight is
that's always debate.
So so like he's going through this split personality disorder, and so he's going through life as Steven, and then he'll go to sleep or not go to sleep. We don't know what's going on. He'll just pop up as Steven again the next 3 days later and have no memory of what happened previously because Mark took control of it, and now he was doing stuff and he has no idea. I mean, it was not, I don't know how you got confused with that. It was to me, it was like straightforward. Like, there's two people doing stuff, and he only has recollection of one person doing it, himself, who is Steven.
And the days were linear, so it
y'all
wasn't
think Mark was
around.
unchaining his ankle and rechaining his own ankle back to the bed.
But there's two different type of personalities, and we know that the Mark.
That's what I'm saying. You think the other personality was going back to chain himself to the bed to go to sleep?
We know the second personality, Mark, is some James Bond type character who can just
but
kill like
he would
9 people
up,
with no
he would
weapon.
be chained back to the bed, even after he went to all these places.
That's what I'm saying. This man can kill 9 people without a weapon, and you worried about him breaking out of a chain and then chain himself back up?
No, I'm saying the other personality chains himself back to the bed.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does, because I don't think Steven knew until the end of this episode that he was a person with multiple personality disorder. I think Steven thought he was the only one, which is why he has sand around the bed, which is why he has locks on the doors, which is why he's taping the door closed. He's going through all of these extra steps to see if something is happening. He doesn't understand what's wrong with him. You can see that at the end of the episode when he misses the date. If he just missed a date and he knew that there was something wrong with him, or what am I trying to say? I think if he knew he had multiple personality disorder, he wouldn't have reacted the way he reacted at the end of that video. He was almost heartbroken, not simply because he missed the date, but because I think he thinks something is wrong with him and he doesn't understand what's happening. So I think
he was possessed.
No, he has multiple personality disorder, and I think Mark and any other personalities are hiding it from Steven. For example, at the very beginning of the show, the goldfish had one fin, just like Nemo. And in fact, I was like, what's wrong with the goldfish when it started? Because it looked a little CGI. And I realized the second time that, oh, he only has one fin. And at the end of the episode, not only was there a goldfish with two fins, but when he took it back to the lady at the pet shop, she was like, he was just here yesterday. What's wrong with you? Mark is trying to keep Steven in the dark. He's trying to keep him away from knowing what's going on. So what we witnessed is he's not doing a good job because it's driving Steven crazy. And now it looks like both Mark and the spirit that is, becoming Moon Knight are able to communicate with him now. And, he can hear them. So he's looking like, who is this? What's going on? I don't think Steven understands that he is a person with multiple personality disorder. I also don't think he's talking to anybody on the phone. That's not his mom. I don't know who that is. It's not his mom.
Right.
So
he might just be leaving
all the people he killed in the episode, was that Moon Knight or was that Mark?
I think Mark is another personality of Steven. He's probably the main person. Steven might be a side personality of Mark. I believe that he was possessed by a spirit. Mark was possessed by a spirit, and that spirit is what controls the wrappings and him turning into the superhero. But I believe that spirit inhabits Mark, not Steven. So I don't believe Steven can just turn into Moon Knight. That's a person.
What happened in the bathroom?
He got to give the power.
He had to give it up to Mark. So I think at the very end of the episode, we weren't even seeing Steven anymore. We were seeing Mark as Moon Knight. And
that's very true. So basically in the comics, it's always told from the perspective of Mark. Mark Spector is the main character. He is the Moon Knight. He is a mercenary, which is what they referenced in the story. He was the one who was contacted by Khonshu, who is the third voice that we hear throughout the show, saying, "Oh, look, the idiot's in charge again. Like, get control. Like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, you're not who." Because he never talked to Steven. It was Mark that he made this agreement with. So he is possessed by Khonshu, the spirit of Khonshu. Like, that is who gives him the power of Moon Knight. Like, and Moon Knight is the avatar basically of the Egyptian god Khonshu. So like, that's the agreement that he and Mark have. But Mark has he has multi-personality disorder, and Steven is an entirely different person. Like, Mark and Steven are like Jekyll and Hyde. Like, when one's doing something, the other one has no idea that they exist or that they're doing those things. When Steven, it's never told from the perspective of Steven in the comics. It's from Mark's perspective. That's the biggest change in the show. Like, we're seeing it from Steven's perspective, which is how they're introducing the character. But a big part of his character is the fact that, like, he does have all of these split personalities that have their own individual identities, that doesn't know what the other is doing. And there's this level of confusion where even Mark questions the reality of all of his actions. Like, Mark even questions whether or not he's even possessed by the spirit of Khonshu. Like, he's a really messed up person in his head. No, in the comic books, and that's what they're building towards in the comics, because he's not like a normal Marvel character at all, like, in the slightest. Like, he's a head case. Like, he's got all types of, he's messed up, like, from top to bottom. Like, he's not really a hero. He's not a villain. Yeah, like
anti-hero or
he's
anti-villain?
he's just he's just crazy. Like he's it's a
don't know.
lot. It's like this is a very really
Psychological
risky
thriller.
character to put on screen, because it's going to be challenging for them to actually like do this correctly, because like even the comics like are to limited runs. Moon Knight has a very small following, and it's primarily because of how complex and how like there are runs where it almost feels like it's what's that movie gosh, with Leonardo DiCaprio, Shutter Island, like where you don't even you question whether or not any of what you just read even happened, because
Right.
like Mark doesn't think that he is possessed by Khonshu. Like he starts to question whether or not any of the things that he's doing is real. Like it gets into some real like mind bending type of stuff, and I'm like, I don't know how far they're going to push that with this show, because like they could end this and you don't even know whether or not any of it was real. Like that's the crazy part about about this character of Moon Knight. Like you don't
That's what I was trying
know.
to say about that last scene. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't
and
know if
that's
he actually changed into Moon Knight. Like, how do we
yeah.
know?
Like you
I think
don't
that
really
dog
know.
wasn't really there, that little creature.
Yeah, like there's and so it's a possibility
He would have had
because
to turn into Moon Knight. A human can't kill that thing.
but the
Definitely
thing
don't
is
know
like with the
that.
character we don't know if that even happened, like because there's a run that they did where you question whether or not any of his actions, any things that you read throughout the whole comic series even happened, because Mark doesn't even believe it at that point. And
Yeah.
like Steven is the other split personality. Like this is a wild character, yo. Like
I'm with it because it reminds me of that movie Split.
yeah, that's yeah.
Because
Yeah.
But
him,
in
he was
Split,
having
you
the
knew what to
he was having
expect.
the,
There was
the
no
multiple different.
yeah, but there was no
identities
question
as
about
well.
what was real and what wasn't.
I'm
In
sorry,
Split,
what?
in Split, there wasn't a question about what was real and what wasn't.
But there was at the end when he actually like was doing superhuman stuff.
He was actually doing it.
Do we know that?
Yeah, he was bending the thing. He bent
That's
the
the
bar
kind- that's the
and then
kind of
reached
vibe
through
I
and
got
touched
from
the
this.
girl.
Well, that's the
Split
kind of
was
vibe I
also
got from
not
this.
from his perspective. It was from the girl's perspective. Also, it was more about her and her being stuck there with that man.
That's the kind of vibe I got from this because
Theoretical.
we see him as like we just get flashes of Mark, where Mark just ends up he just out here just killed 9 people with no weapon.
But we
And
don't see
now
it.
I'm not questioning that he can take some weird creature out. He just killed 9 people with no weapon. He can take out a creature. That ain't nothing to him. So I'm sitting here like
that creature.
I don't know what this is, and I don't even know if he's really transformed into Moon Knight. He might that just might be Mark, and this is some visualization that how Mark feels, who he is.
But
He's
technically,
really just a regular guy doing this.
so if we're not going down that whole route of whether or not it's real, then Mark is possessed by the spirit of Khonshu, and so when he turns into the Moon Knight, he's really being possessed by the Egyptian god Khonshu, and like so he's not like that those superhuman actions that he's doing are not him. It's this Egyptian god that is like immortal. So
I hope that's the case. I hope it's not.
And he's the
imagining stuff.
It's the avatar. Like but see the thing with Mark and Steven is in the comics, Mark doesn't really know about Steven. So they flip this because they're telling it from the perspective of Steven. So Steven doesn't know about Mark. Like he doesn't even know that he exists. Like he has this other personality. He just thinks that he's sleepwalking essentially. And like he wakes up and he kind of sort of feels like, yeah, I saw that earlier, right before we got on the stream. Like,
what is that?
I didn't see the twist, but I heard that there's a very interesting twist midway through.
In episode 4.
If I can say, there's no way that a television show could accurately tell people who don't experience, this type of disorder what it's like to have one. So I feel like it might be better to lean on other shows and movies in order to have somewhat of an idea, since they were made for Hollywood anyway. There was a show on Showtime called United States of Terror. It ran for 3 seasons from 2009 to 2011. It was about a middle-aged woman who suffered from multiple personality disorder, but she has a husband, she has children, and it's about her trying to live her life and also trying to just maintain some level of normalcy with her alters. In that show, I don't believe they could communicate with each other, and she kind of had to get a little bit of an update of what was going on with her when that happened. It was very clear that she, the main character, was like the main one, and then everybody else was an alter. She had gone through something in her life that had caused this. She was not born with the disorder, and it's a really cool show that got canceled. Sad about it. If it would come out around like Netflix times and Hulu times, it'd have survived because people could binge it on their own time. But it's really, really cool to see this woman who's just goes to sleep as herself and will wake up and thinks she's like a 50-year-old racist man. Or, you know, she even had an alter who was like a 16-year-old who was hot in the drawers. And like her husband had to be like, yo, when you're that, you're not my wife. You're 16 and you need to back up off me. Like, go away. So it's just a really cool show. And it's cool to see not only how, you know, she handles it, but how her family around her acts.
Is she aware of like
what was the name of it?
She knows about all of them. Is United States of Terror. In fact, I don't know if it's the first or second season. She actually gets a new alter that she finds out about from her husband, which is really crazy. Because this alter, similar to the one in Split that, you know, is kind of transforms into a new being, she has an alter that's not human. So that's just the best way for me to word it, and it's just pretty crazy to see. But that show is nothing sci-fi. It's not like Split. It's literally a woman living in the US. I think she's in the Midwest, someplace dry, just trying to live her life with multiple personality disorder. It's really cool.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Me and my mom and Daniel Fisher's wife were the only people watching it, I'm sure.
Oh man,
I can't find the little spoiler
this
leaks.
show goes that direction, like,
but
focuses more on his mental state.
The Moon Knight suit outfit I like much better than that outfit with the hood on.
What do you mean?
There's 2 outfits that he has. There's a Moon Knight with like a suit without the coat. It's like a vest.
Can you share it?
Oh, it's in the promotion. You talking about the promotional art with him in the white suit?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that look more than the hood. Like, I don't say why he's got the hood on with his face wrapped up.
Oh, that's just character design.
Comic, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be like mummified.
Yeah, but mummies don't have hood.
Yeah.
So like, what's up with
They have the cow because it's a knockoff Batman. Like
Batman don't have a hood.
He's got the cape though, like, and the cowl.
Yeah.
They just didn't take the. It's
but
just
the face wrappings can serve as the cowl knockoff. So like,
yeah, but it can't be too on the nose. Like, so they just, I don't know why the artist decided to. I mean, it's basically 2 crescent moons. Is basically the cowl.
Imagine Batman with a split personality disorder.
As basically what it is. It's like if it's basically what it is. Like,
so,
if he and the Joker were the same character, like that would basically be like Moon Knight.
I always thought Two-Face was closer to the Batman than Joker. But was Mark and Spencer, were they split? Steven. Were they split before the mythical god possessed the body?
Yes.
So they were already.
Yes. Mark already had split personality disorder prior to meeting Khonshu.
He had a what?
But what I don't know is
he had
when
a date with that woman and didn't know about it. Steven didn't know about it because Mark is the one that set the date up, I think.
I took JBM's question as not in the show specifically. He meant like in life. Like, did Mark have split personality disorder before he?
It's never been confirmed, but it's strongly implied that both personalities existed prior to Mark taking on the Moon Knight.
I think it'd be interesting if the split happened when the spirit took over the body, because Egyptian mythology, that's where the trio, the rule of three, is comes from, like ancient Egyptian religious beliefs, and so like it would kind of make sense that if the spirit took over his body, it would create this trifecta of personality.
That would be a third one, right? Not the second.
Yeah, the third one. Well, it'd be the spirit, Mark, and then Stephen.
I mean, the
Right,
show's
so he would have to have that before.
more.
Well, no, I'm saying it'd be cool if the spirit created that split personality of Spencer.
So you saying he was one person and then split into three?
I'm saying that maybe that would
No,
be
yeah.
angle
I
that
thought
I
you were
would.
saying like he was already split two, and then the spirit made the third one.
Yeah, because maybe that spirit requires the vessel to be chaotic in order to possess.
Right? Maybe that's it. You might be
So
honest.
that's-
That's
See,
it.
JBM, you're such a knowledgeable individual. Like, we need you to enjoy.
And now you
it.
don't like the show.
You should
I
watch
don't like it.
one again and just
Come
just
on.
who
It's
you
bland.
Figuring it out, man.
It's
Oh.
bland. It's like old bread with
You figuring it
peanut
out.
butter and jelly in it. I don't like it.
You figuring it out.
Do we have time to
The
to-
villain, y'all know I like a good villain. I didn't like this villain.
Is he?
We
a
don't know
villain?
who the villain
We
is
don't know
though.
who is the villain yet. Are there
Ethan
multiple
Hawke
ones?
is the villain.
I mean,
Ethan Hawke is the
We
villain.
don't know that though.
the only
Not based on the
person-
character. We don't know who the villain
He's
is.
the villain.
The only person who's killed
might
people
be.
so far is Moon Knight.
Okay, he's a villain. Let's just put
He
it
is
that
a villain. We don't know if he's the villain. We don't.
way.
we don't
There
know
might
who
be
the villain
some,
is.
second arc, some new major big villain gets introduced, but he's like the villain for Moon Knight right now, and I don't like him.
I believe that Moon Knight fought Daredevil and Spider-Man 2 in the comics as well, because he's not a hero really. Like he's
Spider-Man.
he's just chaotic. Yeah, he's chaotic.
Yeah,
he's
you
chaos.
beat their ass, man.
He w- yeah, it
Spider-Man won
didn't
the
go well.
chance, sorry.
It-
Sorry,
it-
Spider-Man.
Don't sleep on Spider-Man now.
Nah,
No,
bro.
How he gonna
Spider-Man-
How he gonna hit Spider-Man with his spider senses?
Okay.
Moon Knight, he be killing people don't even know about it.
That's what I'm saying. He don't know his left from his
No,
right.
no, Moon
Spider-Man be
Knight.
dead on the floor. He be like, "What happened?"
Spider-Man beat Doctor Strange in the Mirrorverse.
He definitely outsmarted Doctor Strange.
Hey, come on, man! Don't sleep on Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is definitely
I hate Spider-Man.
underrated.
Then he got the Stark suit. Come on.
Spider-Man just be
He could.
agile.
He doesn't even need the Stark suit. He doesn't need the Stark
Spider-Man's
suit.
superpower is agility.
He's also a really smart scientist too.
Spider-Man?
Nah, Wanda waxing that behind all day.
Wanda?
No, he said
Well,
Wanda
WandaVision-
or Chthon. Like Chthon is who gave Wanda the power of
Well,
the
then
Scarlet
Chthon,
Witch.
then.
So yeah, it's
Chthon.
definitely Chthon. Like
Yeah, that's
it's
You
definitely
ain't-
I
he's
thought
definitely
that was
Chthon.
Chthon.
That was
I
a
was
trick.
glad this
Moon Knight
show-
person.
That
Nothing
was
like
the
WandaVision.
yeah. That was a
Oh,
trick
yeah, I
question,
remember.
Dan. You threw in there. I appreciate that. I peeped you though. Like that was a trick question. I saw it.
Geometry greater than magic. All
I'm
magic
just glad
comes
it
from
wasn't.
geometry.
This show was nothing like WandaVision. Like, it was,
Yeah, I thought.
Wait,
y'all
we
was
This was
but
more
now
adult,
we are
more.
one now where I'm gonna jump on JVM side real quick. We are one episode in. We don't know how this gonna end yet.
Right.
We don't know how this
Get
gonna end
excited.
yet. So I ain't gonna say all that yet.
So
But
let me
so
ask
far
y'all
so
this.
good.
What in episode 1 stood out to y'all as something that caught your interest?
I got endeared to like the character of Steven. I got endeared to him. Like he was really just trying. He's just trying to make it, man. His life is getting ruined. Everything is getting thrown at him. And he's just like, yo, why is this happening? And I was just like, I feel bad for this guy. He's really trying to figure it out. That's what endeared
No,
me.
he just-
And
he
I
just-
was like,
he just-
Manager play him all the time. I ain't like that either.
That's just
Yeah,
British
I
humor,
like-
dog.
I like
Nah,
that
that's
It's a mystery, really.
that's British humor. Like every single
up.
British show that I have seen is the hierarchy gets played up like that. Like whoever is over you, they just like on you 24/7.
told
Like
him-
it's crazy. It's
Look,
like
I didn't know you had it in you. I died.
we just
need to
I
more
see
of
it all
that
the
in show.
time.
I need to see more of her joking on him, on Steven.
for me, I enjoyed the mythology, and I hope we can see more. I really hope that Marvel would have, taken the steps. We complained about this in previous films, and then what was the movie that came out? Was it Shang-Chi? That really like took advantage of culture and actually doing research. I hope that they hired some historians for Moon Knight, and they actually did the work and the research. I feel like this could be a really cool show, and they could just bring some really exciting stuff that I've never heard of before. I can't say I knew who Emmett was before the other day.
Yeah, the mythology.
They have it. All these Marvel shows thus far have had a lot of potential, but it's 50-50 on them thus far. Like, I mean, it's just really the good ones have been Loki and What If. Everything else has kind of been like that was bad. Like, they dropped the ball real hard on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Well, I don't know what WandaVision was, and what you call it? What was the one? Hawkeye. Good. Woo.
Loki was great.
Woo. Woo. Man, that was as I said, Loki, and so far it's just Loki and What If. That's been it.
WandaVision wasn't even bad. It was just a waste of time. Like, why are we doing that?
What is the difference?
That's how I felt.
What is the difference? He said it's not bad. It's just a waste of time. Please explain what the difference is.
I mean, it was a decent story, but I'm just sitting here like, I don't care. Why should I care? Show me why I should care about this.
Honestly, didn't finish it.
Imagination, man. Imagination. What if?
Oh, imagine if this was good.
It was like a conversation that we got to see play out on the television screen.
For 9 episodes, whatever long it was. Like,
I didn't like it once they had the Watcher come into the world and started fighting, and I was just like, he's no longer the Watcher. His name's the Watcher for a reason. He should just be watching.
Oh, but I mean, it's a what that I didn't mind. Like, now, if this was like more of like a canonical thing and the Watcher did intervene, then I'd have a problem with it, because it's all hypotheticals. Like, I was like, okay, that'd be interesting, because we know that the Watchers are like ultra powerful. Like, they have the power to stop anything that happens, but they choose not to. They choose not to intervene. I get it, but in a what if scenario, I have leniency because it's hypothetical. So
it's what if.
Yeah, let's see what happens if this were to happen. Like, and as long as it has consequences that play out to kind of validate why they never intervened, then I'm good.
Yeah, I like what if.
I just had an idea. What if they took?
Yeah, it was a nice little popcorn thing. It's like
they made horror versions
of
What If with like stories like James and the Giant Peach or something. It'd be a What If horror rendition.
I mean, James and Giant Peach is low key horror. Like, that is. It didn't push too far. You know what? Let's not talk about it, because then they're gonna mess around and make a remake of it. We don't want any remakes of this. Or did they already do that?
No, they didn't do it yet.
Let's not jinx that, because we don't want that to happen.
Or a version of Charlotte's Web. His swinging up bodies and.
Bro, let me tell you something. I've never liked Charlotte's Web at all, ever.
That was my
book I hate it. Just a waste of time. Like, you talk about a waste of time. Why? What is the point of this?
Man, that spider died.
Bro, I don't like spiders. Like, why we talking about it? That was the best part about the whole book. The spider died. Woo! There we go.
The story is supposed to make you care.
I don't care about a spider and a pig, dog. Like,
that was a friendship story.
Man, I do not care. There are other stories about friendship that do the job way better than that did.
Did she have the babies in the book? I don't remember that in the book.
That's why she died.
In the book she did have the babies.
Yeah, the pig looked after the babies. Then they all sprouted and
see, look, bro. Nah, that pig don't have our best interest. That's a poisonous spider, bro. That thing gonna sneak up in your house and bite you. Then you gonna be in the hospital. And then you gonna be mad. It's not cute. Like, it's a spider, man. Get that spider out of here.
Not real
like,
life,
no.
just in the book.
Man, real life in a dream in a book. Like, I don't care. No, we not doing spiders. Like, no.
Y'all read Shallow?
Shallow.
Shiloh.
Oh, I was about to say what? Shiloh. Yeah, I remember that.
I did.
I read all those, like those books about dogs and friendships with dogs and stuff. Like that was,
Normies.
I was forced to read all that
Norm?
material. Didn't really care.
But what I like about Moon Knight is just the darkness of it. Like that's something new to Marvel.
The darkness.
You know, DC. I
didn't get a hint of darkness.
It's not. It ain't DC. It's dark. It's dark for Marvel. It's not like
but Marvel
it ain't
is
dark.
so like
dark.
you know, it's popcorn movies. You know what I'm saying? So like you expect action and comedy. That's what you expect. And this one, you get action, but you don't get no comedy really. Like you get comedy.
It's a different type.
I feel like
But
the Steven character was comical. Like even when he was killing
It's
people,
darker
it was kind of.
He is the comedic relief. Like Steven is the comedic
probably
relief.
what's
Like
throwing me
he's always been the comedic relief within the story because it's like,
But
yo,
it's
who is
more,
this fake British dude?
situational comedy. Like that's like it's more
Not
situational
slapstick.
comedy.
I just
Yeah.
like that moment.
Exactly.
If this Moon Knight was told by DC, I probably would love it. I probably would love it because they would tell it complete. The tone will be completely different. I think it's that tone of upbeat.
You think this was upbeat?
Friendly. Yeah.
No, it's too the lighting
Friendly.
the lighting is too bright in the sets, so he can't buy into the darkness that's under
it's
the
just
undertone.
Or you want it to be
He in a
literally dark?
museum for most of the time.
Yeah, like he wants
was
he wants it to be like the Batman, like he
You want it to be
wants it.
literally dark.
Yeah, give me
Which-
darkness. It's Moon Knight, right? He crazy.
He ain't into Moonlight. Yeah.
It's too much. You injecting too much humor
For
in
Marvel,
the show.
this is great for dark. Dark. You know, Marvel never doesn't really do dark, and I liked it. I appreciate.
They
it.
don't. They don't.
I don't think they can do dark. I didn't feel dark watching this movie.
We'll
What's
see.
up,
It's
Captain?
only episode 1.
I think JBM would agree with you.
Huh?
Ab said Steven felt like Mr. Bean.
Yeah, just like what am I supposed to do with this guy?
Oh
supposed to
man.
follow-
He don't know what to do
Right?
with himself.
I really hope we don't follow Steven through this series. I'm interested in Mark. Let me see
I don't
Mark.
think so. I think it'll start to. I think what's going to happen is going to gradually switch with each episode, and it's going to start leaning more towards Mark as we progress through the story.
Mercenary do work.
What if
I'm
each
seeing-
episode is altered? Oh, sorry.
I think they wanted us to start with Steven so we would relate more and like grab into what the heck is happening with this guy.
Making Blade.
You know what?
But that might each episode is.
It's going to be a movie.
personality might
I mean,
be
Mahershala Ali is playing Blade, but we just don't know when is it. I don't know. Do they have a release date for that? I think it's like 2024.
They pushed that back.
Yeah.
I have a
The
question.
silver lining in that is that it's a movie. So
Is
they
Yeah,
movies.
that's going to be fine. Like I got no questions
Oh,
about it.
fine movie. It's fine.
Is Blade a Disney and Sony thing, or is that solely a Disney thing?
It's Disney.
I don't like
It's the MCU.
Okay, good.
That's why he was in the Eternals.
Hey, cool. You said that like you doubt Disney to do Blade justice.
What?
Oh man,
I
that's a mess up
Because I'm
Blade.
concerned about
The
Sony.
lighting's gonna be too
You
bright.
concerned about the movie? Tell us about the movie. You gotta do your review.
Here is
Morbius.
Oh yeah, we gonna switch. That's a good segue since we were just talking about one vampire. Let's switch to the other one.
I saw Morbius last night, and to give a spoilerless review,
Ooh, hold on before you get into it. Comment section, let me know if you've seen Morbius. Scoops, 1 out of what? Scale of 1 to 10 scoops of gumbo, where do you rank it?
I'm giving it a 6
That's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
because it was a poorly written, very exciting movie. The writing was trash. Like times in the movie, I was like, why would they do that? But it was action packed from front to back. And if I had to compare it to another film, I would say it was very similar to Venom 2. So if you saw Venom 2 and you were like, yo, I'll watch that, that's how you feel. If you did Venom 2, I would argue that you would feel the same exact way about Morbius. I thought Venom 2 was a very action-packed bad movie. And there's really no better way to put it. And I would say that my critique of Venom 2 is now even more specific now that I have seen Morbius, because it's very clear the developmental problems that they had with Venom 2. They did the same thing. They didn't change the staff. They didn't hire new writers. They didn't hire anybody new. They worked with the same people to make another movie. The CGI was on point. It was cool as hell. Some of the aspects about how Morbius does vampire stuff. Like I said, I don't want to give spoilers, but it was so cool that I'm just so sad that it was so poorly written. Yeah, the writing is okay.
Was the writing just like Venom 2?
Huh?
Was the writing just like Venom 2?
Yes. So, for example, a very good comparison as far as, and I'll only talk about Venom, but you can relate this to Morbius if you choose. In Venom 2, the main villain guy, what was his name? What was the villain in Venom?
Oh, Carnage.
Carnage was talking about his boo the whole movie. The Woody Harrelson guy, yo, my wife. When he finally gets around, Carnage is like, yo, she keeps screaming, I'm gonna kill this bitch. Shut her up. And it was dead for her immediately. Right? He talked about the love of his life. He needed to find her the whole time, and it was immediately clipped. That doesn't make much sense. That's your wife who you've been away from for a long time. Honestly, I think the people writing the Marvel Sony movies don't have any real relationships, not with women, not with mothers and fathers, not with best friends. It doesn't make sense. These people only watch movies and stay home. They've never loved anybody. The way the relationships are written.
Oh man.
Sense. I'm sorry. It's just, but it was so freaking.
Oh man.
The fight scene, how cool he was. Yo, they don't do nothing but watch movies. That's it. Like, so as far as the CGI, like I went and I saw it RPX in that's the Dolby RBX is the Regal version of IMAX. If you're gonna go see this movie, I absolutely recommend it. It was cool as hell. I just spoke about how cool the vibrating seats were. When I saw Batman, I felt like I was getting shot. This time, I would argue that this was better. I was scared in the movie. That's another thing. I think they did a good job with the horror aspect of the movie because it was supposed to be a little dark, a lot darker and a bit scarier. I think they succeeded. Just the writing was so bad that you just can't give it that. But like I said, if you watched Venom 2 and you enjoyed watching the movie, you thought it was a fun movie to watch, you're gonna feel the same way about Morbius. It's action packed. There's not a moment in the movie that's dry. It's also short. That was a complaint that I had with Venom. I felt like they tried to force so much stuff in such little time, and it was a short movie. It's the same exact thing with this movie. So for an hour and 45 minutes, you're gonna be like, oh, and then after the movie, you're gonna be like, dang,
I can't find a 4DX movie theater. I don't think there's one around here.
No, it's not.
No, here.
I agree with Daniel Fisher. That's exactly it. I think I have this review because I saw it in this theater. The screen was giant. The seats were vibrating. 4DX, isn't that when they spray the water on you? I got real scared in that one. The back when they spray on you.
Not needed.
No, yeah, I'm glad I saw it in RPX. 4DX, they'll put water on you and they'll be like mist and like air. It'll be like hissing. There was a scene that actually scared me in the movie, and I would have been a bit too much. Have you embarrassed myself in public? I don't do that. But Normie Sonora says, do you feel like it's strong enough for a sequel or to expand it? Yes. When I tell you the cast was fantastic. It was a very well casted, poorly written movie. And they'll just kick them right into the curb and get some new people. I would love to watch it again. I think it left off in a place where it was more origin-y. So now they can take this character and do more stuff with him. The character Morbius is a scientist. He is an amazing outer worldly scientist, which is what he has in common with Spider-Man. He's really, really smart. Actually, most of Spider-Man's villains are really smart scientists, doctors, people that work in STEM. So, they could take that there. I don't think it's worth throwing away. But they just need other people working on it. And honestly, they did a good enough job at introducing us to the character. I personally feel that it would be really cool to see him in an MCU movie. I'm not going to say that the character is worth throwing away. I think Jared Leto did a great job with the sucky script they gave him.
What about the post-credit scene? They said it was the worst ever.
That's another thing. No, this movie.
They said both of them were.
No, I would say. I'm going to say this: the post-credit scenes were not bad at all. It actually related the movie to the MCU in a way that you may not have been expecting it to. It was a surprise. I think they're going to try to do
Sinister
that.
Six.
I think they're going to try to do a little something, but I will say the reviews that it's getting are not worth it. I'm sorry. This movie is way better than these reviews. I went into the movie theater thinking it was going to be way worse. Actually, no, I take that back. I had a feeling that it was going to be better because I was getting just sabotage vibes. I really think Marvel is trying to make Sony seem like they can't do it without them. Now, honestly, I don't think they needed to do that because the writing is so poor. I would really love if Disney would work and Sony would work together and make better movies. But yeah, the reviews are not worth it. It's better than it seems. Normies to nerds, Joe. Tyrese did a good job. No,
I had that same question, Norman.
But I just, every time I see Tyrese, I'd be like, what more do you want from me? Like,
that's crazy. It's at a 16%.
I'm sorry, the 16%
16.
is not that bad. It's not that bad.
That's crazy.
I gave
Imani, you might have said it. It might be corporate sabotage.
It's absolutely corporate sabotage. We were talking about it off air. It's the same sabotage that New Mutants got. New Mutants was not a bad movie. In fact, I was so mad that I never got the chance to see it in theaters. I enjoyed New Mutants. New Mutants was dope. Now this was worse than New Mutants. But
oh man,
was Venom 2 worse than New Mutants?
Venom 2 I would put these next to I would put Morbius right next. It's in the same category as Venom 2, and New Mutants was definitely better than Venom 2. New Mutants would have been so dope to see on camera. This is corporate sabotage. This is Marvel trying their best to make people hate this movie. And I don't think they needed to do it. Let the movie be bad on its own. It didn't, yeah. And I don't think
Venom made a whole bunch of money. Like Venom and Venom 2 made a whole bunch of money. So that's probably why they didn't change nothing. They said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
What does Venom 2 have on Rotten Tomatoes? A 58. I think that's a very deserving score of Morbius. That 58 that Venom 2 got, Morbius could easily get the same score.
What's the audience score?
But Venom 1 made like 800 million. Venom 2 made like 600 million.
They're gonna make. I mean, they're gonna make money.
That's an 84% audience score. Venom 2.
The thing is, with Morbius, the reviews are so low that I don't know if they're gonna make a whole bunch of money on this.
They're not, and it's definitely, it has a 64 audience score. That's
really?
Yes. I think it's deserving.
That's better.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better.
Honestly, and
Marvel was paying folk, huh?
I think that 84 audience score that Venom 2 has, I don't even think it deserves that.
Mickey Mouse said don't mess around.
Okay, so what you're saying is Kevin Feige put the goons out, was like, y'all go up in that movie, y'all rate this like a 10.
Yo, and
I'll pay y'all $30K a piece.
Check the stock purchases.
Exactly.
Hold up.
Go if you want to, just have a moment and you want to go to the movies, you want to see something. I have no problem recommending that you go watch Morbius. I don't think my review was a lie in any way, and I think you would honestly agree with me. Honestly, I would like other people to go watch it so that I can complain about the movie with you. I don't want to complain by myself. Like I said, it's not a good movie, but it's not worth seeing in theaters. It's not a snooze fest. There's hella action. It's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be entertaining at least. If the writing's going to be bad,
I feel like, Sony is really trying to build the Spider-Verse. So like, I don't buy into that it's a garbage movie because they want the Spider-Verse to succeed for their own, because they need something. Like they need to be able to retain some of this Marvel magic that's going on right now with Hollywood. Like the MCU is killing it. DC is hopefully starting to make a turn for the better. Like I like the fact that they delayed those other movies, because I hope we'll see. We'll have to wait and see, because I think a lot of those need to get rewritten. I think they need to renegotiate with Zack Snyder and keep Matt Reeves and Zack Snyder need to be like the people in charge of DC films, because they've made the best movies thus far. Like, and let I don't mind the Snyder cut is great. Like now, if they can somehow wrangle Zack Snyder down to something that can fit into the theater in lengthwise and not like chop, which I think he could have done. I think if they let him cut down the movie to the what he wanted to make in his vision and not let someone else do it, like I think that even the first cut, the theatrical cut, would have been a lot better than what it was. Like, because even if you cut down the Snyder cut into something that's like 2 hours, I think you still got a pretty decent movie. You definitely got a movie that's better than the theatrical version that we saw. Like there's no question about that. But I think it's a lot of key details would have got cut out. But I think Matt Reeves and Zack Snyder got really their finger on the pulse as far as how DC in its tone should go from here on out.
Real quick, because I know we have to talk about the Batman clip, but I want to say something about the movie. There was a little bit of internal sabotage of this movie too, because there's a scene where Tyrese curses. You clearly see his mouth say a curse word, and the audio is completely different. Like how it is on TMZ when their lips are saying MFer, and on the outside they like jive turkey, and it's just
it's a BET movie moment.
So and there's a BET, and it only happens on one
like a bad movie.
Tyrese.
That's terrible.
And it was such a small, like not a small scene, but it was such a simple scene that they could have easily did a reshoot of just Tyrese, just a close up, and had him say the word and keep it moving, and they chose not to. I don't know what would make them do it that way. It couldn't have been that much money to fix it, because they got Tyrese to do the voiceover. That was his voice who fixed it. But yeah, so stuff like that. Like why would you do that? That's where I fall off with the movie. So sorry, but let's go back to DC because we got stuff to talk about.
Okay, so the Batman scene.
Oh, sorry.
Glad it was deleted.
Agreed. I'm with him on that one. I didn't need that.
It did not fit at all. I like it as fan service. I like the Joker's makeup. He had the sound down pat, but he can stay in Arkham, stay in that cell.
It did not. Yeah, it did not fit in the movie in the story that they were telling. Like it's not a bad scene. It's just it does not. It feels out of place in the movie.
They need the Joker.
Totally.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who felt like we didn't need the scene with the Riddler and the Joker in the movie in the first place?
I agree with you on that.
Right.
Like I didn't really need it either. Didn't need that either.
Well, I don't know if it wasn't.
If it would have been any more.
I like that we only had his voice, so it was like kind of cool. Like it's throwing something out there, like this is a possibility. So it's getting people excited.
Now,
you know?
Now, if it were a post-credit scene, that scene with Riddler and Joker, I would not have minded. I would have liked that even better. Like that, because then that kind of sets up some things for, yeah. Like if that scene with Riddler and Joker was not in the movie, it was actually just a post-credit scene, and like I think I would like the scene better. But to me, I think that was the only scene in that movie that I didn't really. It wasn't bad. It's just I didn't really need to see it as part of the movie.
Like that they didn't have a post-credit scene.
Yeah, and I'm saying all I'm saying is if they were going to do a post-credit scene, that would have been a nice post-credit scene, because it's like. It's just it's teasing something more to come. You know what I'm saying? Like not necessarily setting up a sequel, but it's teasing that, hey, look, we're thinking about the future, like, of the franchise.
Yeah, but that scene just seemed like it was in the middle of the movie, or it would have been in the middle of the movie. Like it didn't seem like it was a post-credit scene.
Yeah, no, I think they wrote it in there for it to be. You talking about the Joker scene?
Yeah. Is that what we
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
No. I'm talking about the Riddler and the Joker in Arkham. That scene at
that
the end of the
scene is a
movie.
post-credit.
I would
Okay.
have liked that as a post credit scene instead of putting that in the movie. The Joker
Yeah.
scene to me seems like it seemed like a first draft thing. Like, oh, let's try to get the Joker in there. Like it didn't feel like it was cut for a good reason. Like it did not fit into that movie.
Yeah, it really felt like fan service. Like,
Right.
well, at least we know they're gonna have Joker in this Batman world now.
I do like the news though that the Scarecrow in the sequel. I like that. I saw that. I don't. Was that today? Was that April Fools or was that like a real thing? Because I didn't
No, that
check.
was yesterday.
I've not been checking on
It
anything.
was
Like,
yesterday.
yeah,
You know
okay.
what? They dropped a
That was-
little nugget. The movie dropped a nugget about fear. Bruce Wayne
True.
was saying he never thought he would feel that same fear again. Maybe that might be, a little nugget.
But Scarecrow just such a
But-
good. He's such a good villain.
Yeah, I feel like Scarecrow and
Fits that.
Two-Face, they fit into this into
Universe.
this universe of Batman that they're creating.
And it was Rami Malek, right?
Mhm.
He would be that's a great casting too.
Scarecrow.
That's a
What
great
I like
casting.
what DC's doing with the Batman and Joker, the Joker movies, like they had no post-credit scenes. They were kind of like standalone movies, so you didn't expect a sequel. But if they had a sequel, you wouldn't be upset. So I like those kind of movies.
Yeah, they're leaving it open so that we can kind of put in what we think may happen if something's going to happen, but also not tying themselves down to a specific.
Requiring a sequel,
Mhm.
right? Because
Mhm.
these movies don't need a sequel, honestly. Because if they did make a sequel for this, I mean, everybody would be still happy about the current movies that we have.
Mm.
You can't really say that with like you had a post credit scene, you were expecting a sequel now. You've seen movies that had a post credit scene and they had no sequel.
Yeah.
You don't want that to happen.
I think it depends on how you execute the post credit scene. Like if it's you could do a post credit scene that's just lore building. Like it just kind of touches on an element within the movie that wasn't necessarily elaborated on. Like, like it something that kind of adds to the story but doesn't necessarily imply anything other than that. Like it's just giving you a little bit more context for something that happened in the story. That's a good post-credit scene because it's not an open-ended thing. It's kind of sort of just adding some context. Like they can do stuff like that. The post-credit scene that they had was great. Like it was more lore building because it gave you that link to the Joker's website, and then it had all that people trying to decipher the riddle and then the code, and you had that was a great post credit
The
scene.
Riddler's website.
Yeah, what did I say? The Joker?
You said Joker.
I meant the Riddler. The Riddler's website. Like that's great. Like that's internal like lore building, adding to the story, and then a nice conclusion with GCPD shutting down the website at the end. Like
Yeah.
I thought that's just great. Like like that's cool.
Y'all noticed the
What do y'all
cookout,
think
right?
about-
I was about to ask you. I thought I saw
Yeah.
this.
I gotta bring a plate. I always bring a plate.
What's on the plate?
Tonight we are having vegetables with salmon. Vegetables
Where I play?
with some seasoned salmon.
Yeah, that's the thing about the show. We don't ever get anything JBM gets. It's for whatever reason, it's all forwarded to him. All the sponsorships, all that.
Your part.
We never
Look,
get
I
it.
got Wesley Farms water. He got River Park. That's
Oh
crazy.
no,
Complete
you're gonna mess up the sponsorship, man. We did
Oh,
part.
Sorry.
Your
You're
part.
the only one that got it.
Spring water.
You know, fresh springs over here.
What do y'all think about the possibility of them tying the Joker movie into this universe?
I think it's
The
too late
Joker.
now.
Yeah.
You think it's too late?
You talking about
Joker, the movie, the Joker.
yeah, I don't think so
Oh, sequel?
You don't think so?
because they've already got
Initially, that was
another
that
dude
was
cast.
the plan. Initially, that
I
was the
feel
plan.
like
I
some
would have
subtle-
hoped that would have been the thing, like because I like that Joker. That Joker fits more within this Gotham that we got. Like
Mhm.
to me, that story fits better into the Batman's Joker. Like he makes a better Joker for this version of the Batman.
I do have a comment on that though. We know that in the Joker movie, it was taking place when Bruce Wayne was a kid. And he was what? He was almost 50. It looked, maybe he's 40 at that time. So he would be significantly older now. If they wrote it well, I would be cool with the Joker that we saw being a bit of a copycat, especially although we know that the Joker is a sick individual. That guy was real sick looking. He was going through it. Not that
A, B, C, and D.
Yeah, not that a Joker in this universe wouldn't be out of it, but it just seemed so over the top that maybe he was a sick individual that maybe took over that persona, who just decided, oh, I'm going to do that. As we know, copycats was a big part of the Joker movie in the first place. Everybody trying to put on the mask. So they could still swing it, and I wouldn't be opposed to it, but we would need a Joker who has been a Joker for a long time. And I personally don't think this Batman could put a Joker that's been joking in jail within 2 years. I can't see that.
Man.
You see an old Joker, like a Joaquin Phoenix, an old Joker, like 55.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think this Batman could do it in 2 years. So if that Joker is in this universe, he's free doing his own thing right now. And it's going to take a lot for Pattinson Batman to take him down right now. He's too young. He can't do it.
Yeah, I think it would be like what you were saying, Imani, that it would be the back and forth, that he wouldn't actually, it'd be that give and take of the Joker and Batman. It wouldn't actually be him being captured, the Joker being captured.
I just had a funny joke in my head. I said everybody want to be a Joker, but nobody want to be a Joker. But like I said it with the other word, but thinking about the Joker.
Shout out to Paul Mooney.
Most definitely.
Oh man.
Shout out to Mike Porter.
All right, we got 4 minutes.
What do we have left? We never got to do catch up. We were supposed to talk about stuff we haven't spoken about in a while. Just shows and stuff we enjoyed during our hiatus.
Well, mine's gonna be Bel Air. Season finale was yesterday.
Oh, shout
definitely
out
go watch that. Go watch that. That was a big surprise. I was like, yo, what? Marlon? That's crazy. But I'm not gonna spoil it. We're not gonna spoil anything beyond that. Like, we're not gonna say what that's about other than that, because it might be some people who ain't seen the whole show yet. Because we kind of dumping that. We might have to do a review of the show next week of Bel Air. Because have we all seen it?
I have not, but I can make myself watch it by next.
Yeah, no, you need to binge watch this. This is amazing. This is great TV.
It's worth it.
How many episodes?
10. You haven't watched any episodes?
No, it's on my list.
What you doing?
Yeah, you need to expedite that to number 1 because this is crazy.
Y'all see The Office, man? 1993, we doing things. I got 2 new products. All right, that would be for Mother's Day. Okay.
What two new products you got?
Listen. I don't know if I want to tell.
It's coming. She got a big promotion coming up.
2 hints. The first one, will make you squeaky clean, and the second one will make you a little less bumpy.
Okay. That's okay.
Spot. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna say the word bumpy ever again, and while talking about my business, I don't like it. But yeah, Mother's Day is, they're gonna be out.
It's coming up.
But I'm getting amped for Mother's Day. So, if you got a mom, if you got a sister who got kids, if you got kids, somebody gave birth to them. If you got somebody, even if you don't have a mom or someone, there's someone out there who cares about you. Show them a little love and shop with me. Okay,
you get it for yourself.
Exactly. Treat yourself.
Yes.
All right. So, that's why I've been a little bit off, been working on a lot of stuff, spending a lot of money. So if y'all could shop with me so I can get some of that back, it would be nice. But I'll talk about that more. Maybe next week I'll have more of an update for y'all and maybe even get to see some. But yes, I will watch and be ready for next week. So next week.
Watch. You can watch it while doing other stuff.
It's a great watch. You won't. It's a great watch. It's a great watch.
You'll find yourself sitting down even if you're doing other stuff.
All right. So then next week, Same day, same time. What are we feeling? Is Friday good for y'all? We need to do it Thursday. We were supposed to do yesterday, and then life.
Thursday, Friday are good for me. Like I'm just we'll talk. I say we talk about it off camera, so we can
Yeah.
we don't want to commit to anything that we can't commit to this early.
We're gonna be back next week, but we don't know when right this second. But we gonna let y'all go. Okay.
For sure.
Anything else, or should I wrap it up?
I think that's it. Mark and Ebony, y'all got anything y'all want to close out saying? Anything particular y'all want to talk about?
Thank you, Griffin. Gaming RPG.
Going to Dreamville tomorrow, so
Appreciate that.
Yeah, shout out to Dreamville.
Take my pictures.
Yeah, shout out to Dreamville Fest. Shout out to J. Cole. Shout out to NC Native. You know what I'm saying? Look, man.
Yeah.
Ebony, post everything on your IG story so I can watch.
For sure.
Yes.
Well, just post what you can. post what you can. It's Dreamville Fest.
I remember those food lines, man.
Boy, wait, that's
me a
something.
VIP dog.
Ain't got no lines.
Lines in the VIP.
I ain't got no lines. What lines?
We got our own bar.
We outside. Anyway, JBM, you got anything?
You can't teach a fish to climb a tree. That's what I'm gonna say.
Bet.
What?
As always, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitter. Certified Gumbo. Please like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on your notifications, and buy us some coffee. The link is in the description bar down below. Please join us on Discord. There will be a whole lot more of that on there. What's happening in the Discord right now? Anything jumping?
We got it's we gearing up for the playoffs.
Yes.
NBA playoffs.
NBA
playoffs.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on. We got spoiler threads for days about different movies, different TV shows. Like Powerverse is definitely Powerverse has got a channel now.
Don't get the glory.
It's so funny. Well, real quick before we go, I meant to ask earlier and I forgot. Who's winning that Duke versus Carolina game?
Hey man, we Dukies all day. We Dukies. Can't live without Dukies.
Duke.
Can't live without Duke.
Carolina winning, man.
Tar Heels.
So sad. Who you got in mind?
I have Duke winning on my second chance bracket. I have Duke.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy out here. It's Tar Heels though, man. Listen, man. Jumpman 23, Tar Heels all day. That's all I gotta say about that. Also, too, we got another Star Citizen video coming out later this week. 317 is in the Wave 1 PTU public test server. So I'm actually play testing that right now. I've got a lot of things, a lot of new cool additions that they've added to the game. 317 is going to be a really exciting patch, but it's got some issues. But we're going to look past that because it's an alpha. If they can stabilize this patch, it's going to be way better than 316 was. So I'll have a video about my thoughts, ideas, and opinions on where 317 is going and what changes can happen or should happen within this patch cycle, within the test cycle, because all the features are pretty much locked in, but they're pretty great. So I'll save that for the video, but definitely tune in for that. Like I said on the previous, I appreciate the support we've gotten. That video's crossed like 7,000 views at this point in time. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing more Star Citizen related content. Did not think it was going to get that popular that quickly. So, yeah, really good fun. If you haven't seen it, go check that out. Highly recommend it. Even if you don't know what it is I'm talking about, that video does a really good job of explaining what it is I'm talking about. So, yeah. That's all I got on that. Just tune in for that. It'll be coming out next week sometime, probably Monday, Tuesday is where I'm aiming. But yeah, thank you all for watching. And as I always say, peace, love, blessings, and may the force be with you always.